everyone, I'm Emily Groover, and this is The Community Show, a monthly-based show that brings you your local news, sports, and events for the month. And we would hope that everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and we are so excited to be moving into the new year of 2017 with you. We would like to remind you that we will be re-airing the 2016 Floyd County Christmas Parade right here on CCTV Channel 20 on Saturdays and Sundays at 7:30 p.m. right after this show. And we also have DVDs available of the Christmas Parade. You can call 540-745-2111 to reserve your DVD today. And Citizens was ready for the holidays and also was a nonprofit organization called CHIP. CHIP helps low-income families and their children with different programs, and they were able to have their Christmas gathering with a visit from the big man himself, and was able to provide children 6 and under with a meal and presents.
We provide, of course, in-home services. Our work is done in the home, and we provide parenting education to families, as well as we have a nursing component to our program too. So the nurses work with families to make sure that they're up to date on their immunizations and dental well visits, and just to make sure that the family is healthy overall. CHIP has been in Floyd for 13 years now, and I came in as a family educator after the first year it started. So I worked with a lot of the families in Floyd before becoming a supervisor, and to see families, our goal is to have families in our program for at least 2 years. Some of them stay longer, some of them stay a shorter amount of time, depending on what their needs are. I think it's wonderful for us to see them grow and be able to become self-sufficient, to know what resources are out there, to feel like they're competent in their parenting skills. It's wonderful for us, but it's exceptionally wonderful for the family to be able to reach those goals and to get to that point where they're competent and confident enough to do it on their own. I think it's an added bonus as a resource for families. It's a voluntary program, so no one's forcing families to be in our program. And I think it fills a gap for services for families who feel like they needed extra support and just maybe some guidance and we say a hand up, not a handout, and that's kind of what we are. We help them become more self-sufficient. Of course, we establish very good relationships. Tamara is our family educator in the Floyd office, and so you work at establishing relationships with other resources in the community. You meet people, you go to meetings, you find out what services are available to other people, and you go from there as far as referring our families to those resources. Different areas have different resources. Floyd, not being a huge area, sometimes is a little bit more limited on resources, but the resources that are here are excellent. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that still don't know about CHIP. It seems to be one of those programs that kind of stays out of the limelight. But when people find out about it, especially doctors, pediatricians, that have the same goals for our families that we do as far as staying healthy, they're very supportive. For people that don't know about CHIP, just make a phone call and we can tell you all about it. I mean, we're at Community Action, and it's a free program. It's a voluntary program, and a lot of our PR is word of mouth from families that we've worked with. So we get a lot of families that come through that have family members of their own or friends that have been in the CHIP program.
CHIP is a wonderful resource. I'm a certified parent educator. We also have a nurse who is an RN, and we are that extra support for you if you feel like you want extra support. We are mothers ourselves, so we've been there, done that, and we have the special training and education to support you and help you and guide you along your parenting journey. That's what we're here for. CHIP stands for Children's Health Improvement Partnership, and we are a home visiting program that visits families that have children 6 years old and younger. We also visit pregnant mamas who are expecting for the first time, and we are support system. They say it takes a village to raise a family, and we become part of that village. We help guide and support in the best way we can for each family. Each family is very unique, and we individualize our service to support the families the best we can, and that can include parenting education, assessments, health assessments. We do developmental assessments, make sure each child is reaching their milestone, and if not, we provide the necessary resources to help bring that baby or that child up to the milestone they should be reaching, and that can include physical therapy, speech therapy, things like that. We do fun activities with the babies and the children. We really like to see the parents involved in these activities, and these activities are geared for parent involvement with the child and the parent on the floor doing activities together. We try to build that attachment between child and caregiver. Gosh, I mean, the list could go on and on. What we do, we even do money management, help with some finance, with budgeting. You need anything, and we will help you get that. We'll connect you to the resource that can help you if we can't. Each family, they're different. Every family has its own unique goals, things they want out of CHIP, and so it's different for each family. But generally, it's usually a new mom that comes to us, and they're pregnant or just had the baby. And at first they're nervous, they have some anxiety and stress around raising a child, this big responsibility, and we come in and provide that reassurance and that guidance and that support. And they go from unsure of themselves, very not confident at all, to be a mother or father, and by the time we leave them in the services, they're thriving as parents, and they're doing a wonderful job. And it's it's great it's sad when they no longer need us because we miss them, but it's wonderful that they no longer need us because they're doing fantastic as parents. We are funded through various grants, state and federal. We also, as we're a nonprofit, we rely on the community for donations. We do receive a lot of donations from individuals in the community, which is wonderful, that we are supported by the community. Citizens is a great supporter, so are the Girl Scouts of Floyd County. All the troops in Floyd County Girl Scouts, they help out us a lot, especially when we do our holiday event for our families. They provide a lot of gifts for the children. People donate to us, whether it's toys or clothes for the kids, toys and books. We always need books. Our goal for each home visit we do is to bring a book into the home and leave that book there, because we find that some of these families, they lack transportation, so they can't get to the library, or they also don't have any money, to buy books. So sometimes CHIP is the only means where some of these children are building a book library. So we always need book donations, and the Floyd community has been great about that.
CHIP would like to thank all of those in the community that donated to this Christmas event. Thank you. And everyone has been wanting to get their hands on it, and now they are going to be getting their very own tasting room coming soon. Buffalo Mountain Kombucha has moved to a new location and have big plans for what is to come of their new business for the future. Citizens is also teaching a videography class at Springhouse Community School, and the students were able to interview the founders and owners, Cassie and Scott, about Buffalo Mountain Kombucha.
Business started about 5 years ago. Scott and I were looking for the next big thing that we wanted to do with our lives and our family when we moved to Floyd. We were already drinking store-bought kombucha. We began to brew kombucha at home in small little crocks on the counter, and the idea just came to us one night. We said, let's start a kombuchery. So the next day we dug in, got to work, and every day we've been taking a step toward that. We moved to Floyd because it was time to make a change in the way we were living. Scott was working 60 plus hours a week. Our kids were little at the time, and he hardly had time to spend with them. It was a mad rush living in the suburbs, tons of traffic, tons of leaving the house, always on the rush, always on the go, and we just weren't spending a lot of time together, and we felt super disconnected from our community and from the natural world. When we began visiting Floyd, we felt an immediate connection to the land, and then soon after to the community.
We were accepted into this community right as soon as we entered in, so it just felt like home. So we were actually like old to Floyd is what we felt. We really wanted to work for ourselves, and we wanted to have a business that we could be proud of and also be part of a community, and also to help influence and change people's lifestyles. And we were just so impressed with what kombucha was doing for us that it just kind of fit directly with us. So kombucha is a fermented tea. It goes through a chemical reaction with a culture called a SCOBY, which is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. What it does is it eats the sugars, creating a small byproduct of alcohol. Then the bacteria eats the alcohol, creating living probiotics. Its origins come from Asia. Some people say from Russia, some say from China, over 2,000 years ago.
Kombucha is good for you for many reasons. I would say the number one is the probiotics that hit the belly and really help improve your microbiome, your gut health. And a lot of studies now are linking our gut health to other systems in the body, including our mental health, our emotional well-being. We add a lot of medicinal additions to our kombucha, such as goji berries, elderberries, which are antiviral, antibacterial. We add ginger, which is also good for digestion.
Tulsi.
Yeah, holy basil, which is actually grown here in Floyd County.
After we learned a little background on kombucha, we were then able to see front and center how this delicious, healthy beverage is made and the thoughtful care that they take into making it their own.
So the process of brewing kombucha starts right in here. We have these big stainless steel kettles. This is where the yerba mate, which is the tea that we use, and the organic cane sugar begin with lots of mountain fresh water. And we bring that up just below boiling before we let it cool down. And then we use these tubes to siphon them into our glass 5-gallon fermenters. We're a very small scale operation here. Come on over here. This is where our clean glass fermenters are waiting to be filled with the tea and sugar. And then we go on to fermentation. So to the tea and sugar, we add our culture of bacteria and yeast, our SCOBY, or our mother. Add it to the tea. You can see right in here, it's a batch going right here. And the fermentation process likes it to be warm. So these are all sitting on a warm, heated seed mat that you would use to sprout seedlings. And then we cover them with our t-shirt collection to keep them dark and put a piece of breathable cloth over top. So it keeps the bugs out, but it lets the fermentation breathe. And you can sort of see on each of our fermenting vessels, we've affixed these quotes or intentions. This one says, "This moment is the perfect moment to let go. Cultivate an attitude of gratitude." This is sort of the concept of speaking to your plants so that they grow, showing them love and gratitude because they work really hard for us and they're really the basis of our business. So once these have reached a specific pH, we test all the pHs, we go ahead and siphon them out of here into kegs where they spend a couple of days. I don't think I have any out. Maybe there's a few examples of kegs here. For their second fermentation, this is where it gets nice and fizzy, where we add the fruit juices or some of the berries that we use. And then they go right over here to the bottling area. You can see Lisa's over here, she's labeling some of our clean bottles. And once they are labeled, they're ready to go. Right here is our, we haven't named it yet, but this is our fairly brand new bottling machine. It's a really big deal for us. This allows us to really up our production. Instead of hand filling, which is what we've done for so many years, we're now semi-automatic filling the bottles through the bottler. And then they go into our beautiful, new to us walk-in refrigerator. We have some stock here, and this is ready to go out on delivery.
You may have noticed as Cassie was taking us on our tour, we were standing in Buffalo Mountain Kombucha's new home. This new location that they are residing in now will soon enough be a tasting room as well.
We are located at 4521 Floyd Highway North, just in between Floyd and Ch, at a new building called The Outpost. It was built by a local builder, OmniBuild. They own and did the whole upfit for the whole complex.
We loved our other space. We were renting from the Houston family at Sweet Providence Christmas Tree Farm just down the road. The space was really good for us for a while, but we just started to grow and grow. We basically ran out of room. 2 years ago, we held a Kickstarter, which we raised enough funds to purchase our semi-automatic bottler. It just really did not fit in the space. We have hired 2 employees in addition to ourselves, so we needed more space to grow. We are looking to open the tasting room in the spring of 2017. And we're actually standing in the space now where we'll create the tasting room. We haven't quite figured out the hours of the tasting room. I think they're going to align with some of the other events that are going on in Floyd, such as the Artisan Trail,
16 Hands, the car show, other major events that are drawing people into Floyd. So we're going to try to schedule it as an event center to coincide with those other activities that are going on. But we aren't sure if we're going to have like regular weekend hours.
When the farmers market is off season, we will have our growler hours here once a week where folks can come in and refill their growlers. We really try to find the most nutrient-dense, locally sourced or ethnically sourced ingredients that we can find. Kombucha by itself without any additional flavors is super healthy, super good for digestion. We wanted to increase that by adding things such as ginger and elderberries. Turmeric, that's our newest addition to our hotline flavor.
So we just re-released a new flavor at the beginning of December. It's our Hotline Kombucha. However, we are in the works of possibly coming up with a new flavor that might be ready mid-January.
We currently distribute to the New River Valley. We're also in Southwest Virginia.
Yep, we're also in the Richmond area, Roanoke Valley, North Carolina, primarily in Charlotte and Boone and Greensboro. This past year we expanded into Johnson City, Tennessee and Rock Hill, South Carolina. In 2017 we plan on going to the Triangle region, Raleigh, Durham. We also plan on trying to expand more into Asheville. So North Carolina is a big emphasis for us in the upcoming year.
And eventually Northern Virginia and DC area.
Community is a big part of Buffalo Mountain Kombucha, as they get many of their organic ingredients locally, and you may have seen some of their bottles in your local stores or at the Floyd Farmers Market. They also partner with a local nonprofit called Environmental Scavengers.
Environmental Scavengers is a local nonprofit dedicated to educating the community and beyond about protecting our natural resources. They want to educate folks with some of the problems, the real-time problems that we're facing, not only here in Floyd, but in the country, in the wider lens. And they're actually on the ground, driving around in a trailer, picking up trash off the side of the road, picking out trash of the waterways as well. So we're really proud to have their logo on our label.
And what they're going to do with us is they're going to set us up on a composting and recycling program. So they're trying to get with local food businesses in the region and help them learn how they can participate in making a better cause towards the environment.
Make sure you stop by their website at buffalomountainkombucha.com and follow their social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected on what else is coming to Buffalo Mountain Kombucha. We would also like to thank Springhouse Community School for doing all of the interviewing and filming for this segment. And citizens got to visit Skyline Nursing Home in the month of December, right before Christmas time, to give presents to those from the nursing home. And who was there to present these presents was the big man himself, Santa Claus. We also got a little performance from Elvis Presley as he performed 3 of his Christmas hit songs. We would like to thank Skyline for letting citizens come and spread the Christmas cheer. And citizens will be holding a food drive for the New River Community Action. We will have a box here right in the office. Please bring your non-perishable items and canned foods to donate. And that is all for our community show for the month of January. And as always, if you have any news or events that you would like to get out to your community, you can go to our website at citizens.coop, go to the CCTV tab, and under programming, there will be a community show tab. You click on that and you can fill in your information there. Or you can give us a call at 540-745-2111 and ask about the community show. And as always, thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Groover. We'll see you next time.